Welcome to Sean Can't Cook, but John Can. Sean and I have been actors for many years, but I assure you, this is no act. He really can't cook. I'm going to teach Sean, and you at home, how to feel more comfortable in the kitchen, preparing tasty recipes that even the most novice of cooks can create. I will show you step by step how to construct each dish so that when your friends come over, they'll ask, "How'd you learn how to make that?" If you already know how to cook, I hope you'll find a few recipes to add to your repertoire. Let's see what's on today's menu. Hello, and welcome to Season 5, Episode 3 of Sean Can't Cook, but John Can.
I'm getting better.
Okay, I didn't know what he was going to say today. He always surprises me. We are in the midst of our Thanksgiving redo season. First episode, we made some luxuriously loaded mashed potatoes.
It was really good. Really.
Yum yum. Something a little different. The herbed rice bread stuffing. Rice is a little odd, you think, for stuffing, but I think it's pretty good, so try some of that. Today, now we should be doing dessert last, because that's usually when you serve dessert last, but you know me, I gotta get to dessert.
I know.
So
We all know.
we all know. So today, we're going to make a pumpkin spice fig cake.
What made you put those things together?
I don't know. How's that for honesty? So we talked about doing something a little different for Thanksgiving, and I love pumpkin pie. We talked about that. Love it, love it, love it. So, but I thought, well, I want something different. And also, if you're having a lot of people over, you can make a pumpkin pie and have a pumpkin cake, and then you can have choices. Or what I would probably do is I'll have a small slice of each and then go back for some more. But I wanted to do pumpkin because it is traditional for Thanksgiving. But I said, let's make a cake. And I thought, what else can I put in? I thought raisins. And I thought, I love raisins and things, but you don't like them as much. That face.
Yeah.
But I thought, let's just, what else? Something different than raisins.
So figs.
Figs, chopped dried figs. If you don't like figs or can't find them, you could use dates. You could use raisins. You could use cranberries. That would be very Thanksgiving. Cranberry and pumpkin, get it all together. Apricots probably chopped up. I haven't tried them, so if it doesn't work, let me know, and I'll put that in the comments below. But I chose figs. So, is the Sean Cam ready?
It is.
Okay, well, it's ready. So we're going to show you what goes in this, put it all together, and then we're going to have some cake. So stay tuned. The ingredients that you will need are 2 cups of all-purpose flour, 1/3 of a cup of granulated sugar, 1/4 of a cup of light brown sugar, 1/2 cup of dark brown sugar, 1 15-ounce can of pure pumpkin, 2 teaspoons of baking powder, 1 teaspoon of baking soda, 3/4 of a teaspoon of salt, 1 1/4 teaspoons of cinnamon, 3/4 of a teaspoon of ginger, and 3/8 of a teaspoon each of nutmeg, cloves, and allspice. 1/2 cup of a neutral oil, I'm using canola, 4 ounces of butter, 1 stick, 1 3/4 teaspoons of vanilla extract, 4 large eggs, and this is 4 ounces of dried figs that I've chopped. The equipment that you will need is a bowl and sifter to sift the dry ingredients together, a spatula. I'm using an Angel Food cake pan that has been buttered and floured, a rack for cooling, and I am using a stand mixer with the paddle attachment. If you don't have one, you can use a hand mixer or you can mix this by hand. And that's it. Let's get baking. Sean's behind the camera.
Hi.
Hello. So, first thing we're going to do is sift the flour with the baking powder, baking soda, salt, and spices.
Okay, so...
In they go. You had a question?
I did. So sifting, I always forget. I
Yes.
remember part of it is to reduce lumps
Yes.
and maybe to aerate the flour.
It is. You
Am
got
I
them.
right?
You got them both right.
Oh
yes.
boy, first time.
If you forgot, it wouldn't be the end of the world. If you don't have a sifter, you could take a whisk. You could take a fork, run it through a little bit. That'll help aerate it a little bit, take out some lumps. These are very inexpensive, so if you don't have one, I think it's a good thing to have. So that is done. So now we're going to go to the mixer.
Okay.
And inside the mixer, we have the oil,
Should we show them?
the butter, absolutely.
Okay.
The oil, the butter, and the 3 sugars are in there. I just put them in a couple of minutes ago. So we're going to blend these together. Start
All right, I'm
on
gonna back up a bit. Here.
very low. Yes, it might splash a little with the oil, so we're going to start on the lowest speed possible. The butter is softened, if I didn't mention that, and I don't think I did. So,
Maybe you did.
I don't think I did.
No.
We'll find out in editing. But for now, know that it needs to be softened. And the oven has been preheated to 350 degrees. So we've got that going. So that's getting to be a little more blended. So we're going to scrape this down, blend it for about a minute, and we'll come back and show you what it looks like.
Sounds good.
This has been blending for about a minute. As you can see, it's all blended together. So it's on low. We're going to add 1 egg at a time.
My favorite.
Yep, I cracked these. Oops, almost got 2 in there. And if that happens, that's fine. So I'm going to blend these a little bit after each one. Get them all mixed together. And while that's going, we're going to pour the vanilla in as well.
Vanilla kind of makes the whole thing.
Oh, vanilla makes everything delicious.
Yes, it does. You taught me that.
Yes. So we're going to give this one little scrape. It's very liquidy
Oh,
right
it's
now.
so smooth.
Yes. So I see the eggs aren't completely incorporated there, so we're going to blend this a little bit further. You can go up 1 speed. Now we're going to put in roughly half the flour. We're just going to put some in. And again, on very low speed so the flour doesn't go everywhere.
So you added half of it, obviously, to what, like not overwhelm the bowl? Is that...
Right, and it's also good for the ingredients that are in there to absorb the flour and get it mixed in. So it's a little bit of both. It's mostly just so that it's sort of a common old-fashioned technique to do half and half. So we're going to give this a little scrape. If I unlock it, it works better. And give this another couple seconds. Doesn't that smell good?
Oh my gosh, it smells amazing.
Smells like fall. And even though we live in a warm climate, I enjoy these desserts at this time of year. So now we're going to put about half of the pumpkin in.
So it's the same idea. You drop the whole darn
Right,
thing in there.
right. It helps to just get it blended. And again, it doesn't have to be exactly half.
And pumpkin's some heavy stuff.
Yes, it is. Again, on very low.
I bet this color's about to change, huh?
Yeah, a little bit. Definitely fall colors. So we're going to turn this up a little bit. Just to get that mixed. Now the rest of the flour goes in.
Oh, I see. So you just alternate back and forth.
Yes.
Interesting.
Whoops. I don't want to miss any of these spices.
No, you don't.
And I see them sticking there at the bottom. In you go. Again, super low. So that looks good. The rest of the pumpkin goes in.
This is the last part, right?
Don't forget the figs. That'll be
Oh,
the
the
last
figs aren't
part.
in yet.
No, that's the very last part. And you know, this is harder than it looks when you're trying to do this for a camera.
Believe me, the little bit I've done, I'm like, I don't don't know how you scrape backwards.
Yeah, I'm learning as I go. So back this goes.
So would you only add like you're putting the figs in? Would you add something with the figs, or is it like the figs or figs or raisins?
Oh,
or,
you mean like figs and dates?
Yeah.
Yeah, you could do that. You could
do
add
that? Oh,
sure
okay.
figs and raisins, and I've done that. I made a quick bread once with figs and dates. So yeah, if you think it's going to go well together, go for it.
Interesting.
So I scrape that. I just let this go for a few seconds. Now we're going to add the figs.
All right, here we go. Best part.
Oh my gosh, I love figs. Now, some people, I think you either love them or hate them.
I think they're great.
I should have used a spatula because these little things are sticky, so let's just put this on low.
This is the last part.
This is it.
So from here, what happens?
Bake.
Oh, wow.
It's going to go into the pan, which we'll show you in a second.
Mm-hmm.
So this is just to incorporate these. And had to grab for the right spatula. I've got only spatulas over here. So you can scrape the beater off and take this out. And we're just going to show this.
Oh, wow. I mean, you really get in there and show them what the texture is.
Yeah, so you want to scrape. I'm just doing one final scrape to make sure everything's blended, which it is. So now we're going to put it into our prepared pan. And if you have never prepared a pan by buttering and flouring, you can watch our, I think, somewhat hilarious episode, our bonus episode on how to prepare your pans.
Oh, yes.
With Sean and I
that.
both doing. Yeah, you remember. That was a while ago, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So you want to pour this in. Because it's a little thicker, you can turn this so that you can get this in. Again, this is easier when you're not trying to face a camera with
Yeah,
this.
I can imagine.
So I'm trying to keep my bald head out of the shot too.
I
So
think I got it out.
thank you, I appreciate that. So in this goes. And you want to make sure you get it all in there. So you can just run this around. I noticed at the end there weren't as many figs, so I'm sort of trying to draw some of the figs over to this side. And you want to just smooth it out. And try not to get on the sides in the middle, but I'm doing that, and that's okay. You can sort of just take your finger and remove that. So you can shake it a little, give it a couple
it's really
bangs,
liquidy, yeah.
and that takes out some of the air bubbles,
Mm-hmm.
and it's ready to go.
Awesome.
350 degree oven, which has been preheating, it's ready to go for anywhere between 45 and 50 minutes. Might take a little bit longer, might take a little less. So we'll show you what it looks like when it's done. Be right back. It smells like pumpkin. It smells like Thanksgiving. Let's take a look at the
Oh,
cake.
so excited. Oh.
Don't get too excited. We have to let this cool before we can eat it. So, toothpick in the center.
Mm-hmm.
Should come out pretty clean.
Mm-hmm.
I always have a couple. If there's a couple of little pieces, see that little piece there?
Mm-hmm.
That's okay.
Okay.
What you're looking for is raw dough. You don't want raw dough. So that looks good. So we're going to cool this on a rack for about 40 minutes, and then we will take it out of the pan. A knife. I don't know if you can come in a little bit.
Sure, happy to.
Will show. You can see it's pulling away from the sides just a little bit, which is a good sign.
I like that.
Right, so the sides, that'll never be an issue. You know, you could put a knife around. If you don't have one of these, you can use a bundt pan also. The flour and the butter should take care of this coming out. I'm using a sharp knife. You can use a butter knife. Either one will work.
Mm-hmm.
So what you want to do is go around once or twice. Make sure this is all loosened up. And you'll see you'll pick up some of that. You can get rid of that. You know, I'm just going to grab this knife instead. And go in. This is the tricky part. Actually, you know what? I'm going to go back to this knife. We'll just wipe it off a little bit. And you want to go around this. Now you don't want to forget this middle part because this is what could stick. So this is really going to be the fun part to see if this comes out. So it's either going to be a great success or we're going to have bread pudding made with
It's gonna be awesome.
pumpkin cake. So that's loose. You can shake it a little bit. And I can feel it coming up from the bottom, so I think we're going to be okay. So let me get the plate. I just happen to have a plate that fits perfectly inside.
Oh, look
of
at
here.
that.
So if you do, that's great. If
Here
you
comes
don't,
the magic, everyone.
so it's still a little warm on the bottom, but we're gonna flip. Oops, I feel like it came out. Ta-da!
Oh my gosh.
Very cleanly.
Look at that.
So this still needs to cool. So we're gonna put this back, right side up,
You make that look so easy.
on this. Remove that, and then it's gonna cool.
Wow.
So you can ice this if you want with a buttercream frosting or cream cheese frosting. That's hard to say.
Let's try that again. say it again for me.
You can ice this
Right.
with a buttercream frosting or a cream cheese frosting.
There we go.
If you would like, we have a recipe for cream cheese frosting on our bonus episodes. It's with the carrot cake. It's its own separate video if you want to make that. If you're just going to ice the top of it, I would make maybe half of the recipe because the other one is for a 2-layer cake. Or you can eat it simply as is. I can't talk today. Or you can sprinkle a little powdered sugar on top, which is what we're going to do when this cools down a little bit. So this needs to cool for a while. Yeah, it's still pretty warm. I'd say a good hour, and we'll have a little piece of it. So we may not wait that long. Sean's looking at me like, do we have to wait that long? So this is what it looks like. I can't wait to try it. So let's let it cool, and we'll come back and have a taste. Are you ready for a piece?
But you know what? What happened to the powdered sugar?
Somebody thought they had it in the pantry, and
Oh.
someone didn't have any in the pantry. So I apologize. It's cake. No powdered sugar. Again, if you want the cream cheese frosting, you can do that. You can sprinkle a little powdered sugar. I thought it would look nice, but I don't have any, so I apologize.
I like it like this, personally.
So I know you do. So I'm going to just cut us a slice. This is very moist cake.
Oh boy, it certainly is.
And there you go. Show everybody what it looks like.
How pretty it is.
Oops. Little piece of mine fell in the middle, but we'll
Smells good.
just retrieve that. This is very warm also. We just took this out of the pan. Wanted to let it cool a little longer, but we couldn't wait. So
You can really see those
there
figs.
you go. Yes. It's very moist. The pumpkin just, I mean, you can't, it keeps it very moist. What are you watching for?
Oh wow.
And the nice thing about it is,
It's so light.
bingo, it's not a heavy cake.
No.
You would think with all that pumpkin, it would just be, you know.
It looked heavy in the bowl,
It's
but
not. It's super light.
it's really good.
Very moist, pumpkin-y.
Mm-hmm.
I like the figs. Again, you can adapt if you don't like them. You can
As
do
usual,
something else.
I think you need to grab the milk.
Oh yeah, I know. You heard that. I'm trying to cover that. I'm eating too much of it, so
Yeah.
I will put it down and say thank you for watching. Happy Thanksgiving. I hope you'll try this pumpkin cake as a little alternative to pumpkin pie, or have it alongside a little pumpkin pie on top of this. You know, I mean, if you're
a little pumpkin pie would be just smear.
if you just if you're gonna go overeat, you might as well just go for it.
It's so good.
Please subscribe down below to us. You can find us on Instagram and Facebook. Sean can't cook, but John can, but he's learning, or whatever you said at the beginning. I don't even remember.
Who knows?
So we're going to have some more cake, maybe get a little milk, and we hope you'll keep watching. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.
It's so good I can't stop.
Oh my gosh. And if you're doing that,
I know.
I'll be right behind.
I know. Thank you.